everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. It's good to be back. Yesterday was my youngest daughter's wedding and we had a wonderful time, but it's been a busy several weeks coming up to this point. So now I have a moment to make a video and I am expecting a new pen. Surprise, surprise. So I wanted to test out a few of my inks ahead of time before getting the pen, so I might better know what I want to try in it. So, the first one I'm going to swatch is good old Noodler's Green Marine. They always say shake those, so give that a little shake. This one's actually pretty close to being empty. I was going to dip one of these in there, but I had my nails done for the wedding, and I'm trying not to mess those up too soon, but let's give it a whirl. So I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but one thing I like to do sometimes with leftover lids before I put them in recycling is use them to do a little swatch swirl. This one's rather large, isn't it? I think I put too much ink down, but that's okay. That looks really pretty. And then I'm just gonna wipe it off with one of these baby wipes I use for my crafting. I'll go back later and do some writing excuse me, with these to see which one I will like the overall looks best for this new pen. I won't say what it is, and then it's supposed to come in the mail today, so when it does arrive I will continue this video. Maybe you want to make a little guess on which ink I am, or which pen I might be getting. It was honestly like all my pen purchases. Of course, nothing I needed. Do we ever need a fountain pen? I guess that point is debatable, but it sure is a fun hobby and fun thing to experiment with. And anyway, so I was thinking about different things that have happened within the year, and I've noticed this pen show up on social media here and there. And it kind of started to, oh my gosh, look what I just did. It started to stand out to me as one that seemed like a good addition. Gosh, gee whiz. Let's just make a whole giant page swatch. That is a mess. Way too much ink there. Anyway, this pen was really standing out to me. And for a number of reasons, this has been excuse me, somewhat of a unique year for me. So this seemed like a good pen to buy. I know I like the style already. I know I like the nib already. I liked the color of it, and there was a significant point to this pen that made me think it would be a good commemorative pen. By the way, I haven't been telling you what these are. This last one is Oz Story by Colorverse, or the most recent one I've just put down. This one is Edelstein Olivine. That's Pelikan brand ink. This is Tasha's Yugisu, or yeah, the olive ink, and then I did mention the Noodler. So this Oz Story is so light. I really want to use it in writing, but every time I test it, I feel like it's just a little too light for my liking for actually writing. I like to highlight pages with it, and I've done that a few times, but I don't know. It doesn't settle well with me if the ink is too faint. It just doesn't seem grounded. I don't know. I'm kind of weird that way. I like a saturated ink. This was a gift to me, and so I want to keep giving it a good try because I do appreciate the thoughtful gesture from my son, but I'm just not sure that that light color is going to work. So I'm thinking maybe if I added something to give that a little more depth, it might be just right for this new pen. I almost think a little bit of that in with that. This one is more teal leaning. This is a sample I was given. This is Wearing Gold's Old Man and the Sea, and I think this is such a cool ink. This is from my friend Kathy at Scribe Samples. You can see her over on Instagram. She posts lots of journaling type things that are fun to look at. I like her style. So this is obviously quite a bit different, but I thought about this because there's certain elements to this ink that might go well with the pen that's coming. And then last but not least, another sample given to me by Myra. This is Colorverse Spirit, and I love this ink, and it's perfect with my Tailored Pen Company Havasupai Falls. I have my iPad beeping at me in the distance. This may not be, oh, there we go. There may not be enough of this to ink up a pen. We shall see. Much more turquoisey leaning. So yeah, this is a good idea, I think, if you don't put too much ink, and I feel like I have put too much ink down. But that's okay. I've got ink coming out of my ears, so use it up, right? Okay, those are the selections, a few of my bottles, a few of my samples. When I get the pen, we will decide together which one to put in. Okay, let's talk about the swatches just for a second now that I've written with them with my dip pens. This is your basic green, and then the Tasha Olive actually has this copper sheen that I don't usually pick up on when I'm using that color in my fountain pens. Maybe it's just the larger amount that is making that show up more, so that's rather interesting. I do love that olive green there. Kind of drawn to that at the moment, but we'll see when the pen gets here. And then this is just a good, deeper, more muted green. I call the olivine. I'm not very descriptive with these. More of a brighter green, and like I said, pretty faint. So I tried mixing these two, and that's what this wet color is down here. And I'm like, let's see how it dries. But I did 2 parts Oz Story to 1 part Green Marine. And we'll see that that's kind of looking like the shade I think I need. A little bit too blue leaning, but it may work. That one might be okay, but I really kind of want to use more of a green now that I think about it. I've added one more ink to the Selection Possibility mix, and it's the Noodler's General of the Armies. That's this one here, and I think that might be actually a pretty good match too. I know there's a million pens out there, but if you've been wondering or noticing my past purchases, you might have guessed that I decided to get the Opus 88. This is the 2024 Green Demo. Now, it said on some websites that it was a special edition. Another said it was a limited edition. And I was like, well, what's the... Okay, I forget how to open these. Aha. There we go. Some place said that limited editions were ones that had a finite amount of pens being produced, and the special editions were for a limited time produced. But I don't really see any specification on the box that this is either of those. But it was made with the number 20 or date on it, 2024. And as I alluded to in the first part of this video, this year has been a unusual one for me so far. I've had a couple of things go on, and like I said, it was just worth commemorating, and I think that this beautiful pen is a fun way to do that. So it says 2024, and it looks like the print is etched in pink, and then there's like a pink version of this, and its writing is in green. So it sort of has this neon lime green cap to it. Let's see if I hold that white under there, you can see that color a little better. And then the end piece, the knob there, is more blue toned. That's why I was thinking perhaps that this Old Man in the Sea might be a good match for this pen. Not that they have to match, but sometimes I just have fun trying to figure that out. So anyway, if you know what the category of this pen is, if there's something definitive out there, I would guess that it's a special edition because it was for 2024. And so that's the year that my youngest son graduated. He was the last of 10 homeschool kids, so I was commemorating that. I was commemorating my last of 3 daughters getting married. And she also graduated college, and 2024 was the year that I spent the first several months pretty much on my couch due to some condition in my inner ear, which we are figuring out. So anyway, I learned a lot through that time. I won't get into it now, but I really felt like it would be a fun pen to commemorate what I've learned and what we have rejoiced in as well over the past several months. So here we're seeing this lime green on the grip section. This is a broad nib that I chose, and it's a steel nib covered with however they cover it in black. You can twist these off. I've been watching a lot of Opus videos. Actually, you can twist this off, and you can put any Opus number 6 size nib in there. You can also interchange it with Franklin Christoph nibs, which I have a couple of. I generally like to keep the nib that it came with on it, so it just feels like right to me to do that, but I may play around with that, but I usually end up going back to the original. This comes with the eyedropper and an extra little O-ring there, which honestly I don't know how to use at this point. I think it has something to do with when you switch out the nib. I got this from Van Ness, and I got it at a pretty decent discount because I had accumulated several points that I was having a hard time accessing because I had different accounts that we finally consolidated. Anyway, I had gotten 15% off of the pen, so I didn't have to pay shipping. Look at, I still got ink all over my hand. So with this kind of pen, it's eyedropper fill. You can unscrew this and pull out the rod. I'm always scared to do it at first because I don't want to hurt it. And that gives you room to put in your ink with your dropper. Then you twist it back up and you leave this open when you're planning on writing for a while, just a little bit. And you close it up when you're done with your writing session. And you can even write with it with the knob all the way screwed in, but it will, after a while, run out of ink. So looking at these colors, I'm going to leave that kind of unscrewed for now, just so I don't have to do it again when I fill it. I was liking that. I kind of like this mix color. I took 2 parts Oz Story with 1 part Green Marine with some eyedroppers, pretty simple, mixed them together in this little glass jar that I also use to hold ink samples. And I'm liking the match there. Although the basic Noodler's green seems really good. I like that too, but as I said, I have another pen with a bluish ink in it. That may not be best match. The Oz Story kind of made me think of this, although this is a little more neon, a little more lime looking than I feel like that is. Ooh, the Tasha Olive is actually kind of close. Doesn't have to be exact, but I just want to choose one that seems like a good match. The one that I have that's like this, that I did a swap with my friend Charisse, it is Opus 88 Blue Sapphire, and it writes so wonderfully with so many inks. I'm hoping this nib will do the same for me. I mean, it's the same everything, but you know how that goes. Sometimes each individual nib has its own personality. I've picked a winner. I decided to do the Oz Story in the Green Marine blend. If I don't knock over my lamp here. Try to zoom in a little bit on that, but it's super smooth. I like the color green, and I do love that blue teal shade there. So I will twist that back in, but let's just call it Oz Green. That'll be my little personal blend there for my new Opus 88 broad nib green demonstrator 2024. I don't know what kind of edition, if any, but it is specified, so I'm going to just call it special edition. And please let me know if you have insight on that category as in general and as it applies to this pen. So I'm very happy with this. So there we go. Thanks for hanging out with me and enjoying this little pen journey. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you again. We'll see you again soon. Bye.